Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network.
'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven.
A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at ubnradio.com.
Welcome to Richard Listens on Sports. I'm your co-host, Peter Sobey, alongside Dr. Richard Olberger.
In the house.
Yes. So we are coming to you with this special episode of Richard Listens on Sports, where we talk about sports, life, and the intersections in between. And we are here on the UBN Radio TV Universal Broadcast Network at the beautiful Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood. And it's a very exciting show today because we had an opportunity to have a young athlete on the show who is aspiring to big things in the NFL, and we really wanted to spotlight him on the show. So we're doing this special 30-minute broadcast that if you're watching it right now, it's probably a week from today. So yes.
I'm like a kid in the candy store right now, Peter.
I know. It's really, really exciting. So especially me being a Chicago boy, even though I'm suburbs. But so without further ado, I just want to tell you a little bit about our guest, okay? So he is an all Big Ten wide receiver from Indiana University. Very exciting. His name is Simmie Cobbs Jr., which I relate to. I'm Peter Sobey Jr. His junior year, 841 yards and a career best 8 touchdowns. He has declared for the NFL draft. Ladies and gentlemen, Simmie Cobbs Jr.
How's it going? Thank you for having me.
Welcome, Simmie. It's amazing to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you for having me.
And we also have sitting to your left, Mr. Darrell Noel. Did I get that right?
You got it.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
And Darrell is your trainer.
Correct. He is the trainer indeed.
Yes. And so, first of all, how did this come? Dr. Richard Darrell, this is how it all happened, right?
Well, first of all, shout out to Studio Gyms that, since I've been training there, has kept me going on my athletic journey, but continues to introduce me to people who are pushing to higher levels. And when I get to meet people, I pushed myself to come early in the morning, and sure enough, before I could catch my breath, there was Darrell like, hey, well, I got some people that are ready to go right now.
Yeah.
And, he said the combine's around the corner. We got some people in here that are let's get them before they have to get out of town. So it's serendipity when that happens. Not only right place, right time, but the right moment. And Simmie was a consummate gentleman and was like, I'll make time for this. So nothing makes us happier than to be able to support people on their journey and as they start out, to reflect back on where they've come from and where they're going.
Totally. So, Simmie and Darrell, tell us a little bit about your relationship, how you met.
You got it.
Right. So, I met Simmie Cobbs through Travell Gaines. I work at Athletic Gaines. Travell Gaines is the founder. We've spoken back and forth maybe over the past years about Simmie potentially coming out to forego his senior year to come train with us. So I met Simmie this January doing his process going into the draft. So I haven't known him that long, but it's been great working with him, great experience working with him. It's phenomenal being. I love working with him.
And now it's interesting. You said that you knew for a couple of years that it was a possibility that Simmie, that you would forego your senior year?
I didn't know. I had a great sophomore season. And so the question was always being asked. Obviously, I was still unsure. I just spoke with Travell about maybe what my decision may be, and from there, I think it was my sophomore year going into my junior year. we just stayed in touch, and throughout the process, as time went by, he figured out that I was going to stay my junior season. And so, and then once my junior season was over, because I got injured, I reached out to JaVale and told him that, my goal is to, forego my senior season, enter for the draft.
How tough is that decision?
It's definitely tough because there's so much work that you could possibly be missing out on, through college performance with, coaches and everyday working and stuff like that. Then I had 4 credits left with my school process. And so it was a risk being taken, but with Indiana, they have this policy where if you stay on good behavior, they allow you to come back and finish the courses that you didn't take or finish, and they'll pay for it. And so once I spoke with my family and coaches and, gathered my thoughts on my own self, the decision was tough, but I knew with the work that I was going to put in that I'll definitely make it worth my time.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, we've seen some family pictures and some pictures of you coming up. How big is your family in these decisions that you make regarding your athletic career? Can you, whatever you're willing to share about your process internally?
And right now we're looking at a couple of photos of the young little Simmie.
That's when I had the hair.
Yeah, that was quite the hair, man.
Yeah, I had the ponytail. It was stylish back then.
But was that a tough decision, getting rid of the hair?
Actually, I was tricked into it, actually. When I moved from Bellwood, Illinois to Oak Park, my grandmother told me the boys at the new school I was going to weren't allowed to have long hair. And I get there, and I see all the kids with just long gold hair.
Oh, man.
I was very disappointed, but, the curls grew on me.
Man, you got fooled. But back to Richard's question. I'm sorry. I just had to point that out.
My family's always big with me with decisions I make, because I like to hear their input. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to my personal decision because it's my life at the end of the day. But they definitely stuck by my side through the ups and downs when I was injured, when I was playing good, when I was playing bad. So when I spoke with them about the decision of coming out, they had my back 100% no matter what decision I chose.
I think it's amazing, too, that Indiana has that policy that you can go back and finish your courses when you're ready to get your degree.
Yeah, it's a beautiful policy because I don't have to pay for the classes.
Yeah.
And I get my degree.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that provides a little bit of freedom for you to go after your dream.
Definitely, and I'm glad that I believe Mr. Glass, the athletic director and the president of the school, came up with the policy, and it's definitely a great decision by them to help the students out if they decide to pursue something.
Yeah, and you're representing their university. I mean, we know Indiana's known as a historic basketball school, so for you to be going for the NFL draft probably shows other wide receivers out there that competing in the Big Ten at Indiana is a serious thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch Big Ten football, every year we have receivers, and it's just a line of history that just keeps repeating itself. We're on the uprise as well of changing the program around with Coach Allen. I know we have a bunch of great freshmen that just came in, so I'm definitely excited to see how it goes this upcoming year. Unfortunately, I just, thought my future was something different.
And now, I got to tell you, Simmie Cobbs, my alma mater is University of Illinois, so I'm a Fighting Illini. But I appreciate it, But we have a lot in common. I was born and raised in the suburbs of Chicago. You were Oak Park. And, we're going to get to the draft and stuff coming up. But in the topic of family, again, we always like to talk about, youth sports and how much parents are involved with their kids' sports. At what age were you like, I want to be an NFL player, and how much support and belief did you get from your parents? Did they push you? Did they not want you to do it? What was that story?
I actually didn't start playing football until 7th, 8th grade. And it was really something I didn't know too much about. My father was a basketball player, and that's what I thought I was going to be. Took it very serious. I always did travel ball, AAU basketball. And so I think I think my sophomore, senior year is really when football started kicking in, and my family started noticing that maybe I had a better chance with football than basketball. And I was getting a lot of positive feedback from football, and so overall, like, my decision started to form that I would be playing football. I'm gonna try to go play at the next level, and I'm gonna put everything I can into this, preparation, I guess, to prepare myself to maybe be able to play in the NFL. So I say my senior year going to college is when I really decided that I want this to be like my future. This is what I want to do. I love it. It's tough. And if you can make it past high school and take it to the next level, you'll see how much tougher it gets. And so if you're going to sacrifice your time and your body to do all of that, it's something that you should definitely look forward to as a job.
In transitioning from high school to college, you had originally thought you were going to Purdue, right?
Yes.
So what happened in the decision from Purdue to Indiana?
Purdue was my first offer, and I was stoked about it. And I was getting a lot of feedback from, coaches, trainers, family members that Purdue is a big school, Big Ten school. I should definitely commit before they take it off the table. And I took a couple visits. I felt good with the coaches. I liked my teammates, and it was, I think, midway through the process that I found out that they had switched my position from receiver to safety without telling me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I wanted to use foul language there, but I'm refraining myself.
Didn't like that at all. And so I just opened up the recruiting process again. And I reached out to Indiana because I always liked Indiana. I had a bunch of friends, and some of my friends' older siblings went there. So I went there a couple of times to visit the school and watched some of the football games. So I always liked Indiana. And through that process, Cody Latimer was still there, who plays for the Broncos now.
Yeah.
Ended up deciding to leave early, and it opened up a scholarship for me. And from there on, history wrote itself.
You just send him a thank you card.
Yeah, thanks, Cody.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's how that process went.
So now now you had this incredible junior year at Indiana. We also talk a lot about what happens during injury and how you deal with that. And that was a situation for you. You basically had to sit out a year because of injury. How do you mentally keep yourself motivated? Because it's like you're on this track. I want to become an NFL wide receiver, and now I've got to miss a season. How do you stay motivated during that?
I think first of all, what kept me going in the beginning was my trainers. They, always woke up early for me, had a positive energy coming into the weight room or the training room. Always gave me little quotes to just follow on, listen to, and that just helped me from a mental standpoint early on throughout the injury. Secondly, I say I just like watching football and watching the players, especially at my position, saying what I would have done in that position, a certain situation. And it just built this feel inside of me. So once I was able to come back and start playing and moving around, I just, took all that energy and anger, I guess, that I had built up for so long and just let it out on the field. And it definitely, pushed me harder because I know, football, you don't really think about it until you get injured, that your whole season, maybe your whole career can just end at a snap of a play. And so when it happens to you, it definitely wakes you up and makes everything a little bit more urgent.
Wow. So, Dr. Richard, what do you make of that attitude during injury? That's pretty good, huh?
Well, it's amazing, both those decisions you're talking about, both having to make the choice of college and potentially feeling like your position may be taken from you before you even decide, and having to go through that injury at such a young age make you face adversity. And I'm interested to learn, where you feel you got those mental skills and what you learned coming out the other side of both those experiences.
I think I learned how to face adversity at a young age. I grew up with just my father. We grew up in Chicago, west side of Chicago, and there's something always going on around that area. And you learn how to survive. You learn what to do, what not to do. You experience a lot of tragedy, and it kind of toughens you up. And throughout that process, living with my father and my grandmother, at the age of 9, I lost my father to a heart attack right across the street from the park that I grew up my whole childhood with him. And so with that, I feel that it molded me into a strong person. I learned a lot from that process. And my father always taught me at a young age as well that, nothing lasts forever. So if you believe in something and you want something, you have to go take it. You have to earn it. Nothing's ever given. And so then once I lost him and then that stuff started replaying in my mind, it just stuck with me through everything I did, every problem, every decision I needed to make. Every situation of adversity that I had to face, it stuck with me. And so once I got to the injury process, I just knew what I had to do. Even though I couldn't do it at a full, I guess amount of energy or level or physical standing since my ankle was broken. So I just took that mindset and worked on my mental aspect of the game until I could work on my physical aspect.
Yeah, and that's tremendous resiliency, and it sounds like you already knew that you were going to need the help of those trainers, and you knew to appreciate them.
Yeah.
Even though there was anger there was focus, and that's tremendous amount to overcome for sure. I mean, what's that going to mean to you? Visualizing yourself on draft day. What do you think your dad would want to say to you?
I'm not too sure. But I know that day is going to be a very emotional day. Not more of a sad emotional, but more of a celebration kind of emotion, because I know I've been doing everything that I promised at a young age I would be doing for my father and my grandmother. I made it to college. I got the chance to play Big Ten football. I'm going to get my degree. And I'm entering one of the toughest sports to play at a high level. And I think they would be nothing but proud. And so it's definitely going to be a celebration.
Yeah.
Man, Simmie, you are an inspiration, man.
Thank you.
I mean, seriously, your story is incredible. I mean, I just knew some of the cursory stuff that I read online and stuff like this, but to hear how you grew up and you lost your dad at such a young age, and to have this mindset that you have is just amazing. So, Darrell, I could see why you were attracted to work with this young man, right?
Very much so. And he made the process so easy because he was highly motivated and self-motivated. A lot of people that come have low self-esteem, low confidence, but in this case, we had to keep him even keel. Not get too high, not get too low.
Right.
Just to keep, chopping at the bit of the process, which, was a bit easier than some instances that I've been involved with,
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, that long-term focus and having to come from, I mean, few people know what it's like to come through, environments like that where your thinking has to be about constantly survival mode. And but what about, I'm wondering about some of these stats here about you had one of the highest 2 TD games, I think, stats, there's something also on a positive side too. People know they're going to you in the red zone, I assume, right? And you're playing against Big Ten defenses. So what is that within you that says, I want this challenge?
As one of my old coaches used to say to me, every ball that's thrown to you is money. And I for sure like money. If I'm in the end zone, throw me the money. But really, when you get down there, it's all about pride, I would say, who wants the ball more. Because his job is to stop me. My job is to score. And I don't feel good going to the sideline knowing that I didn't do my job. So when that ball's in the air, it's mine. That's what my mindset is.
Man, come on, NFL. This guy needs to go in the first round, man.
He's going to take care of your money. I mean, what do the owners want? Gee.
Forget the second or third or fourth round. Now, we're coming up to the combine draft. We only have about 5 minutes left, but, you know,
Is he about to
we're-
run a touchdown right
we're,
here? Is this a catch for Michigan State?
yeah,
Oh.
Jarvis is showing
Oh, yeah, I
amazing
remember that.
catch.
Light work.
So we are both, you know, you're from the south side, even though I'm northwest suburbs north. Are you a Sox fan?
I'm West Side,
Okay, you're
so-
west side.
yeah.
Are you Sox or Cubs?
Cubs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Represent.
I went to a Sox game and didn't really enjoy it.
Yeah,
Went to a
who-
Cubs game and had a blast. in Wrigley.
Nobody enjoys a game at the Sox. I don't even know what it's called now. U.S. Reverse Bank Field or something?
Nothing special.
Downturn Field. But anyway, enough of that baseball talk. I know you probably don't want to name teams, but I mean, would it be a dream to play for the Bears?
Oh, of course.
And they need wide receivers.
It would be a dream come true. Right down the street from all my family. I got a lot of friends there, and it's the hometown. That would just be. I would probably start crying for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you and Mitch could be a pair for like the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sign me up. Sign me up.
So that being said, where is your mindset for the draft? Obviously, the Bears would be incredible, but obviously you're open. Is there, like I said, I don't know if you want to name names, but are there any other situations you're looking at?
I'm not. I don't really care where I end up, as long as I get to play. That's just the goal. Obviously, you really have no control in that. I'm just really focusing on what I can control, and that's the combine coming up. What I have to do, and then throughout that process between the combine and the actual draft of just staying in shape and staying on par with everything I need to do.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that's a great lead-in, Sim. So what you're still powering through. I see there's been some beach workouts in there.
Yeah.
It must be harder to catch it when you're jumping out of a sand pile. I mean,
He makes it look very easy.
wind-aided passes. What is your mental prep going to look like? How do you mix in rest at this stage? For those of us out there that are athletes in high school.
For the
football
combine?
players. Yes.
I'm gonna take one day at a time. I'm not gonna overstress myself about it, even though it's gonna be a very stressful environment. Just try to keep my composure every now and then. Tune out, just listen to some music, calm myself down. Make sure I eat properly, so I'm not feeling sluggish, stuff like that. Keep myself well stretched, keep the body fresh, and just keep my confidence up.
Will you have Travell or Darrell with you?
Yeah, you guys will be there, right?
Yeah, we both will be there.
Yeah. So
we'll take care of it.
process now is just waiting for the time to get there.
Amazing. So I think that any NFL team that drafts you is going to be a better team for it for sure. But I hope it's my Bears. Come on. It's got to be, especially with the new offensive mind there and everything. But
Yeah, it'd be pretty alright. I got the Bears and the Cubs tatted on me.
no way.
And
That's
the Bulls
amazing.
and the
Oh, I love
Blackhawks.
it.
I got the Sox too, but I kind of just went with the whole,
You're representing. I get
I'll
it.
still make a
I
call
get
to
it.
the New York Giants on your behalf. I mean,
Yeah.
So, Simmie, it's been a pleasure getting to know you and to have you on this special segment of Richard Listens on Sports. And we're going to be watching Draft Day, man, and it's it's going to be very, very exciting for you. And hopefully, maybe this time next year after your rookie season, we could have you back on the air to let us know how your first year in the NFL went.
Oh, I'd definitely be looking forward to that.
I mean, I know that, we'll be small peanuts by then. It's like you'll
No,
be
you-
talking on ESPN every week and all that. And we'll be like, hey, remember us at Richard Listens? Come on, Simmie.
You can't forget who you started with, right?
That's right. And we got to represent Chicago, So, and we are going to have Darrell on his own on a future show because he's amazing. Just his whole background and the people he trains and his journey. So,
it's something to experience. He's got like a full force squad in there. They come in focused, 2 workouts a day.
Yes.
I bet
It's
they're probably on strict nutrition too, but you can tell they're locked in on the goal,
Yes,
and
sir.
that's
Yes.
great to be around.
It's great.
So be looking for that show down the road. But for now, Simmie Cobbs Jr., thank you again for being on the show. And good luck at the Combine and knock 'em dead at the draft. I know it's going to be amazing.
Thank you. And once again, thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing your journey with us, Simmie.
Of course.
And thanks for watching Richard Listens on Sports. We will see you again soon.
we should have put